I'm going to try to do this as quick as possible to try to get an orientation in for those of you who missed it yesterday. Of course, you're familiar with this, which is this is your home page. And I've now provided a link for you to be able to get to class after yesterday's fiasco. So I will send one out in via email, but I will also, if you just click here, this should take you to class every day. I will take care that will be taken care of there. This is the home page for your Math 150 class. Will disappear later on, and what will take place of it will be a page for the syllabus, which will have, instead of your to-do list over here, it will be part and parcel of the page. I'll show you that. The textbook, this is the textbook for this class. Don't buy it unless you really want to, or unless you already have it. It is fairly old. They're already in the 4th edition, which is about 2 years old. And unless you can get it cheap, I would say certainly for under $10, I provide you most of what you need in order to be able to do it. Any college algebra book would be a fine reference book. If you know the topic, just look the topic up, and that should be fine. You will need a graphing calculator for this class. I recommend a TI-83, TI-84. That's what I'm going to be using. However, whatever you use is fine. There is an app for a mobile device. It's called Graphing Calc 83. Don't know how much it is now, but it was free during the pandemic time back in the spring. I don't think it's all that much, but it works just like a TI-83. That would certainly be acceptable for the class. Don't need it at all for at least the first 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. That'll be on your schedule whenever you, that'll be on your schedule whenever we need it, and I'll kind of make it clear in class too, whenever you need it. We're going to be using a program called More. It is similar to my math lab, and but it's free. It's owned by the Maricopa Community College District. You'll need a More account if you don't already have one. By the way, whenever you register for More, it's going to send you an email back, and check your spam folder. It seems to be going to spam for most students, and you need that to finally finish activating your account. And of course, here's my email address, always available via email. Since I'm at home most of the time, in the evening, sometimes I'll go over to a friend's house. But other than that, and going to the grocery store, it's about the only 2 places I do go. So if you email me with a question or problem, I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Office hours, I haven't got them quite set up yet. They'll be in WebEx as well, and they're going to be from 9 to 10. But again, if you contact me and you need help, I'm around. I'm happy to set up a quickie room. We can get together and answer whatever questions you have. There's the fax number if you needed to fax anything in to me. You know, if you get desperate enough, sometimes try to get an assignment in, can't get it turned in, have a way to fax it in, you could fax it to me. This comes to my email, so it's fax to email, so I'll still get it regardless, since I'm not going to be on campus at all. Let's take a look at what's happening over here. I think you kind of ignore this at this point because you tried it yesterday, it didn't work. And let's go to syllabus. This will become your home page eventually, once I get everybody settled. And you notice here it's got the syllabus. Here is the registration you're going to need in order to set up your More account. And here is student services that are available to you. Here's a link to More itself, so that if you have an assignment that's in More, you could just click here and go to More. You can bookmark it, of course. Either way, More is not connected at all to Canvas. So anything you do in More, I have to hand input into your grade book. So at that point, that's why you have to go in separately from Canvas. here is to tutoring. That's really over here as well. Here's the online tutoring. That's really over here as well. Now you can see this is the schedule. Now what I've done with the first assignment, since a lot of you couldn't get into the yesterday, I took the first assignment and it's due tonight. So you'll have 2 due tonight, and it should be a quickie one. And of course, you have a Canvas upload. This is a practice for you to be able to upload assignments to Canvas. It's something you're going to need to do. That's the way you communicate with me and get your paperwork turned into me. In order to do that, you're going to have some kind of a scanning app. We'll talk about that as well. So here's a list of your assignments that's due. Any assignment that's required in more will have more after it. So you'll know. Anything that doesn't, and you can kind of now ignore this. Anything that doesn't is Canvas. Like A6 homework is not more, it's Canvas because it doesn't have more after it. You will upload it to Canvas. Okay, let's take a look at the syllabus quickly. I found that the orientation I did, and I videoed it during the at the 1:30 hour yesterday afternoon with my brief calculuses. It took most of the night to upload, so that's why I'm talking probably a little bit fast. I don't want this thing to do that. I like to get it up rather quickly. Okay, this is your section number. It's college algebra, 5 credits. Here's the prerequisite for the class. You should have, this is intermediate algebra. And you could have gotten in here also by the diagnostic test or high school GPA. Again, here's my email address. I am currently not on campus at all. They will not allow us on campus. To do anything, even to meet with students if we wanted to. Office hours, and I've said they're going to be from 9 to 10 daily or by appointment or email. If you leave a voice message for me in my office, it gets forwarded because obviously I'm not there. So, and it gets forwarded to me in email. So if you call and want to leave a voice message, you can, and I will still get it. Since everything, I've got 5 classes, and I've got an intermediate algebra, college algebra, and brief. If you send your email via Canvas, it will tell me what class you're in. So I know that. Canvas tells me that. If you send me an email outside of Canvas, however, it does not. So in your subject area, put what class you're in and what you have a question about. That way I know how urgent it is, especially since I had a ton of emails yesterday between my on campus and online, and then I have an idea as to whether or not I need to answer a question and more, whether or not I need a question because you can't do something that needs to be done, so I can get the information that you need in order to be able to answer whatever question you have. I have the required materials textbook. I have that as optional because I provide you with the textbook exercises. This is that textbook, and of course the homepage gives you the ISBN number. You're going to be required to use more. It is that free Maricopa resource, so you're not going to have to pay for that at all. Note packet, I sent you this already as I did the syllabus and the schedule, and so we will be starting on that on the 25th in terms of lectures in class. You'll be using Canvas more, and of course email. I prefer the school email primarily because then there is a tracking record of emails that they're sent back and forth. Technology, you of course you're going to eventually need a graphing calculator. For right now, the first few weeks, a scientific one is fine. You're going to need a calculator, at least a scientific one, and then we're going to pick up with the graphics. Scanning capability. If you got a scanner, I have a scanner, so I can just scan stuff in and send it to you. That's how I get all my stuff put up on Canvas. I scan it in with my scanner. However, there are mobile apps out there that work quite well. If you can take a picture, you can do a scan. You just need the proper app. Cam Scanner and Adobe Scan, and there's a ton of other ones. If you just look for a scanner in the App Store, pick one that's got a good rating. I understand Adobe Scan is very good. Cam Scanner can be a little tricky, but any way that you can get it to me is fine, and that'll work fine too as well. But you need to be able to, especially your homework assignments and some of the stuff you're going to do to the side, you can do that. You might have an app, like I have a student who uses, I think, Notability or something like that. That app basically has the ability to export, and that whatever you export can be then uploaded to Canvas. Photo identification of some kind. I've asked you to include that with the first assignment, the upload practice. So I got a picture of you. I know who I'm dealing with. You can certainly block out anything information that you don't want me to have. Don't have a problem. Course structure. Well, there's video lessons that are available. This course is completely videoed already, and the videos are available in Canvas and in More. As well as you're going to get it live online. It's the same thing that you're going to be getting in the morning. So if you miss a day or come in late and what have you, since you don't have somebody that you can sit there and say, can I copy your notes? You can get a copy of the notes. They are already available, and they're available in Canvas and More. Homework, you're going to be submitting homework to me through Canvas. I have a large homework assignment. That's what I recommend that you do. However, for grading purposes, normally those are the problems I would collect the day of the test. I would go over it kind of carefully, and not carefully, but quickly, and to see if you've done about 85% of them. And then if you did about 85% of what I assigned, usually you get total points for the homework. In this particular instance, because I can't collect it that way, and I don't want to collect the whole homework assignment that way, nor do you want to try to submit pages and pages and pages of homework, I've selected anywhere from 3 to sometimes 7 or 8 problems that will need to be turned in. That becomes your homework grade for that particular chapter. And I will actually physically grade those problems and comment on them, as we go through. As you can see over here, like there's the homework temporary for chapter 1. And that's where this stuff, for A and F, there's homework temporary for A and F. Those assignments temporarily go here, because there are going to be, I think, about 7 or 8 of them for this particular chapter, 2 chapters. That combines to give you 1 homework grade. This goes away once we have completed chapters A and F and completed the homework, and then we'll go into the homework score right here. So that's what this temporary means. Temporary means that whatever the assignment is in parts. It will go here and give me a grade for this whole thing, and that grade will then be put into the proper place like homework. Same thing with A and F tests. My original plans were to have a 2-part test, so the 2 parts go together to form the actual test grade once the test is taken, and the 2 parts are brought together as a single grade. Then it'll go into tests, and then this will go away. Okay, so what you will do with the homework, those 5, 6 problems, how many there are, you'll scan those in and you'll submit them in Canvas. And then I will grade them in Canvas, and then you can review them there. Attendance is going to be taken in 2 ways. I'm going to try to do it, at the class meeting, and I will. More is actually my attendance taker. Each night you will have a quiz over what we did that day. When we go to More, we'll talk about that. And then that tells me that's your pure attendance. It's a 0 or a 1. You either took the quiz or you didn't, or you either attempted it. You need to have at least 1% on that quiz to get credit for the day. It is due, like there, you have one due tonight. There's due one every night. Their tests, more Canvas, haven't a clue how I'm going to give exams yet. A lot's going to depend upon what department policy is going to be. And so at that point, when we get closer, I'll have an idea as what we're going to do for testing. Final exam. Your final exam is Wednesday from 8 to 10. And it will not be on campus. It's going to be online in some fashion. So it's either live online with you taking your final in class like you normally would from 8 to 10. We would be meeting in WebEx, or it might be fully online with you, or uploading and you're always going to be uploading your work. So in the end, regardless, there's going to be an upload. This is where this will be graded. For notes on grading, on quizzes, tests handed, and homework, all work must be shown in order to receive credit. Use of a calculator is permitted. I use calculators. Why shouldn't you? Any special student circumstances or needs should be discussed with the instructor. That's if you're military, you're going to be gone, you need to let me know. And we can make arrangements for you to be able to do the assignments. If you're DRS, then you need to make sure that you get that taken care of and the paperwork gets to me. You figure my syllabus keeps getting bigger and bigger because the school keeps saying there's more stuff they want me to add. I'm going to assume you can read some of this stuff. I'll just quickly pick up what's most important. Attendance, of course, if you have a 5-day period and you are a no-show for 5 days, I certainly withdraw you. I will try to contact you before I do that. Resources you're going to need, and how you can contact. You can message me for more, because it has a place where you can message the instructor direct from the problem itself, and then I can answer whatever question you might have. Brainfuse tutoring, and Brainfuse tutoring is the online tutoring, and I think it's about 10 hours a semester. I'd use that as the last resort, because there are only whenever there's nobody else and you are desperate and you need help, then I maybe would run into Brainfuse tutoring. MCC tutors, and once we're finished with the syllabus, I'll click here so we can go over there so that I don't lose the ability to finish up what the syllabus says. Math 108, you are eligible to take Math 108. It's a math tutoring class. Check the MCC schedule for times, and you can sign up. I think it's 1 hour. Class, and then essentially you meet with tutors and an instructor and some of the rest of it, and in order to get help on your homework. Math interludes, these are math review sessions. They are also available whenever I'll get the links put up whenever they're going to be. Disability resources, you need to look at that if you need that and take care of whatever stuff that you need to take care of, and then I'm going to let you read the rest of all of this stuff. The other important thing is counseling service. We have an excellent counselor in math anxiety and that kind of thing, Sonia Esposito. If you have a problem, you can schedule. They are available. You can schedule a counselor. And most importantly, this is subject to revision. Who knows how the semester is going to go. So if I find you need something, I will adjust anything in order to say, okay, this will help you become more successful. I need to adjust the syllabus. Had to in the spring when we moved online. In terms of tutoring, here is your online tutoring as the Brainfuse tutoring. And here is the math tutors for MCC, the Learning Enhancement Center. And you can see when you click on Math Tutors, this is what pops up. They tell you what their hours are. They tell you what classes that they tutor, so you can pick the right person who happens to be online. And you might have a tutor that you're pretty familiar with and then you can schedule a meeting with them, you can send them a message, etc. If they're online, and you can also ask them a question online. Let's go to modules. Under modules, here's school resources for students. You can take a look at this. Here's the math interludes. I'll move this link to syllabus so you can have a link from there. And these are the topics for the first series of interludes. Canvas orientation, order of operations, scientific calculator basics. Here's graphing calculator basics, solving linear equations, graphing of lines. And then there's a link to the room where it's going to be held. And of course, this tells you when it's going to be held. We have Mesa Market. We have a food pantry here on campus, and this gives you the information that is available there. I think United Food Bank also comes onto campus once a month to supplement what we have at the pantry. This is resources that are available to you. They actually are going to make some computers and Wi-Fi available on campus by appointment. When I get more information on that, I'll post that. Course information and more registration. Again, here is the syllabus. Here is the more registration, the daily schedule. And if I look at the daily schedule, this is what we're planning on doing. Yours is fairly detailed. This actually came from more. This is what I have assigned. Essentially, this is the homework that I wish you would do. There is no factoring worksheet anymore. I needed to take that off. That's now gone. And essentially, I have picked, say, 5 problems from A6. And this whole assignment, I've picked like 5 problems. And those are the ones you're going to need to turn in. I'll show you that. But essentially, there's your daily schedule. This is the homework I would like for you to do. Do as much as possible so that you know that you understand the concept. That's where it kind of becomes up to you. And there's a DRS statement. Here is the full instructor solutions manual for all the chapters, both evens and odds, and the answers that are in the back of the book. This is set up for my on-campus class, so it's set up a little differently in that sense for all the information that's there, because this is where it's normally used. Here are the 2 chapters for the first test. Appendix A. Now, every single chapter is going to be set up this way in modules, and that is Algebra. Here is the schedule, which we looked at. Here is the note packet and notes. So this is the note packet I sent you. This is not a review packet. This is your lecture notes. So that's what I'm going to be going over and we'll be filling in together in class. These are my lecture notes, which are already filled in. So you can see this is the packet I sent you. This is already filled in. Some people like to just download my notes and print those out and take notes on my notes. That's fine too, but they're up there. Here is the in-class videos. And essentially, these were done live in class of the note packet. So essentially, if I click on this guy right here,
the first thing I want to review is
there's the note
section
packet
A6,
right there,
which is rational expressions.
So you will recognize that. That's the first page of the note packet. So those are videos of my note packet. Here's some additional references if you need them. And again, here is a there are my lecture notes again, just in case. Got them more than one place. Here are the homework exercises. This is what I mean. I provide you what you need from the textbook. This is the first set of homework exercises, but these are literally the pages from the textbook, which is why you don't need a textbook. So I've downloaded these, and then these are the exercises I want you to work from, and this is what you would turn in. So that's why you don't really need a textbook. Oh, well, I went back too far. And then here's the answers to the exercises. So everything is set up the same way. If I go now to F, here's the daily schedule again. Here I have a review of completing the square if you didn't remember how to do that. Here's the note packet and lecture notes. Here are the in-class videos, homework exercises, and answers from the textbook. So everything is set up the same way, and that'll be done for all of the chapters. And that's, of course, all under modules. Now, if I take a look at assignments, any assignments where you have to do an upload, like this Canvas upload, this is the one that's due tonight. This is the assignment itself, and this is where you're going to submit it. So it allows you to upload and submit. Let's take a quickie look at more. So if I link over to more and log in, this is what you will see. And let me move to student view. This is what you'll see. This is your schedule. The orientation will be placed here. I'm going to upload it to YouTube and then put the link there. Don't know how long it's going to take to upload it to YouTube. Hopefully not very long. And then when it says here is the quiz, this is today, will be the first one. Notice here is chapter A. So it says here's appendix A. By the way, prerequisite review, this is due on Friday. And so if I look at prerequisite review, essentially, this is what happens. There's no time limit on anything. Anything that has a time limit are tests. And with these kinds of things, you can do it, forever, infinitely, till you get it right and the deadline hits. And then there is a deadline. But notice with every question I give you when it's something like this, or even if it's a quiz, a daily quiz, it'll have a video that goes with it, and there's a way for you to message me if you happen to have a question about that particular problem, and then I will do what I need to do and then answer that question. So if you message me, I'll answer you back. And so here's the book again. Here is the app that you might be looking for if you're looking for a graphing calculator app. Under Appendix A, there's my lecture notes for A and F. And here's some helps with factoring. I guess there are no helps with factoring. Here is Chapter A and F course content, because that's your first exam. And these are the videos. These are the videos of my note packet. So you don't necessarily have to go in and view them. Now, if you don't know how to find common denominators, I've put a little of extra review in there. This is for my intermediate algebra class, because I'm not going to necessarily go into that level of depth in class. And so that will be today's lecture. Right here is today's lecture. So if you miss it, you can pick it up in more. And then this would be the quiz that's due tonight, and this is your attendance quiz. You need to get at least 1% on this. Doesn't matter if you get 1% or whether you get 100%. And notice again, there is a video that goes with that question. And you can message me. And I may need to set this up a little differently. Looks like there's 2 questions. How many questions are there? 4 questions. I'd like for them to actually show them and show the whole thing, but that works. But there's a video. Here you go, message instructor to get to the next question. Then you go to question 2. So the same thing. Video, you can message me if you don't know. And there is a quiz every night. That's worth 1 point. To get your 1 point, you have to have at least 1%. And that also gives you, their attendance points is what they are. And here are pages 4 through 6. That's going to be Wednesday. Here's the quiz on 4 through 6. And that's done all the way down through the first test. Now, that's course content. Here's homework, but homework is going to be submitted in Canvas. So what I've done is this, A6, and as a Canvas upload. Here is the homework assignment I'd like for you to do. Here is the textbook exercises for that homework assignment. So in other words, these are the pages from your textbook. And I have selected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 problems from this whole set for you to submit for grading. And that you will scan in some way, shape, or form, and then you will submit that to me via Canvas. And I've done that for, here's A7, here's A8, here's F. It's all the same thing all the way down. I haven't gotten as far yet as a test review. Notice it still says Chapter 3. And that was college algebra from spring. So I've not gotten this far yet because I don't know what I'm going to do with tests. That's something I'm working on at this point and seeing what the department is going to require me to do. Okay, so if I just click on here, and that brings the, whatever I click on down here. Okay, A6 videos. Here are the videos, and then here's the quiz. And I don't know why I just did that. It should still be the 25th because we're just starting lecture notes today. So here's your calendar, and that's more. You can see I've got 21 messages. These are new registrations into more because I already checked to see if anybody had a question or had a problem. And again, where's your more registration? If you go under syllabus, you can find where to register here. There's the link to more. And then here basically is how you register. And I've become a Chrome user. I even still, for my personal stuff, I still use Safari because I'm a Mac. But Chrome has become my friend because I've had more problems with my other browsers there. And then here's what you need. Here's your course ID and enrollment key into more. You also will find that in modules under course information and more registration. What I've done from a homework point of view, there's your Canvas upload. Essentially, there's the quizzes, so I have to input anything that's from more. Here's your homework. So if you click on what you're going to need to submit in your homework, that's the pages from your textbook. And these are the problems that I want submitted to with this assignment. So when you submit the assignment, go to submit the assignment. These are the problems that you will be submitting. So I've done that for the first 2 chapters. So hopefully that covers most. I'll be sending out a link to class. I think it's the same one every day. I've got to cross check that, but until then, I'm going to email you the link for class so I know I can get you there. And it will also be available to here. It'll be the same link that I send in the email. So I hope this was helpful. And this is basically, for the most part, what I covered yesterday in terms of orientation.